the New York Jets make another cap-saving move.
Inside, and a beauty! Hall running free! Brees Hall inside the 10! He's gonna score!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Talking Jets with Tigo. My name is Tigo. That is Ben. You might hear him in the background playing with his toys, but today we're here to talk about the New York Jets restructuring safety Jordan Whitehead, saving $5.3 million in cap savings. And this is big news. This is a huge thing. This goes along the lines of a couple of thought processes that if you've been a subscriber to the channel, and if you're not, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. Over 50% of you guys aren't subscribed. It's the easiest way to show support for the channel, but it's a thought process that I've been talking about on this channel for quite some time now, especially if you've been on the live streams that we do every Friday at 9:30. And that thought process is you need to put as much of the Aaron Rodgers cap contract in this year. We're not going to be adding any new players or adding any other contracts to this team this year. The team that we have right now is the team that we're going to go into the season with. I don't expect a new safety signing. I don't expect a new linebacker signing. I don't expect a new defensive tackle signing, wide receiver signing. None of those things I think are going to happen. And the more cap space that we can create in this year means that when we ultimately restructure Aaron Rodgers' deal, we can put a majority of that money into this year, a year where the more cap space we can create, it's going to help us next year, where we're going to start seeing a lot of these cap hits either come off the books in the terms of like Carl Lawson, maybe a Jonathan Franklin Myers if he becomes a cap casualty, and all of those things. And we can't carry a $107 million cap hit, which is what Aaron Rodgers is projected to get hit with us next year. So saving $5.3 million against the cap this year is big because it allows us to move as much of that Aaron Rodgers contract as we can into this year, saving us time in the future and money in the future. But the other big thing that this does is this solidifies our safety room. A lot of people were talking about Jordan Whitehead could be a cut later on in the year. I was not one of those people. I believed that Jordan Whitehead was on this team and he was here to stay, and that ultimately the role that he would end up playing is the LaMarcus Joyner role from last year, and Chuck Clark would play the Jordan Whitehead role, which in my opinion is an upgrade at the safety position. If you ask Jordan Whitehead to play less time in the box and tackling, which is where he struggled last year, and more time in coverage, where he was actually pretty good last year for the New York Jets, it would benefit him as an individual player, but also help the New York Jets safety room. And adding a player that is as good as Chuck Clark to a strong safety room where we had problems last year with tackling, and what is Chuck Clark exceptional at? Tackling. So again, it's addition to that room just by bringing in Chuck Clark and moving things around. And so I think that this does a couple of things for, one, the New York Jets safety room, but also to Jordan Whitehead's career longevity as a New York Jet. One, I think that this is leaning more towards the New York Jets extending Jordan Whitehead at the end of this year versus letting him walk and taking the $3.3 million in dead cap that we would take next year for a player who is adequate, let's be honest, Jordan Whitehead is a more than adequate player when it comes to his position in the safety room. Is he a world beater? Is he a great safety? No, but he does his job. He's adequate. He's good enough. And when you look at our team, where are our strengths? Along the defensive line and on the outsides, and really in the inside too, is our cornerback room. So where are we going to need to take some sacrifices, or where are we going to need to find diamonds in the rough? In the linebacker room and in the safety room. And if we can keep a guy around like Chuck Clark, if Trey Dean or Ashton Davis or Will Parks or Tony Adams can turn into that next safety that we're expecting, can Jamian Sherwood take that step up in the linebacker room? Can CJ Mosley play out of position and play the weak side linebacker and help his? There are a lot of things that we're going to need to do in the linebacker room and the safety room to make those rooms work, because we're elite on the defensive line and in the cornerback room. And so the expectation that Jordan Whitehead is going to go away anytime soon, I think just got proven wrong. You would keep him around, especially if it looks like he's willing to take a $6 or $7 million contract, especially with the restructurings that he did this year to stay on this team. I think that that is probably what we're going to see from the New York Jets, from this organization moving forward. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below when it comes to all of this stuff. And last but not least, go Jets.